Hello again guys, Mac of Max Mechas with the review of Blitzwing and Astrotrain Platinum Edition. Now, these are quite different from the G1 in colours, but I don't know if this was the intended G2 colours or there's a rumour going around or colours based on other Transformers that came out back in the day, but in any case they look nice. They've still got the original stickers on them, they've still got all their original weapons, and they like to fall over. They're not very stable compared to newer figures, but sure, that's to be expected. They were to be played with, they weren't really for adult collection as they are now aimed at sometimes in generations. But one thing I will say that has changed is instead of weakened missiles on Blitzwing, they're just these little pagan ones. They don't actually do anything. No idea why they changed that. I mean, the big change was changing them from the stronger springs in the Takara version to weaker ones, and now just no springs at all. I mean, if these are aimed at adult collectors, these particular sets, for nostalgia purpose, why change them? Oh well, the question Hasbro can answer, but they never do anyway, so what's the point in asking it? I think I'll start with Astrotrain because as a kid he was my favourite. So, he is what he is, really. He has incredibly long legs, incredibly small arms, and a tiny little head on top of a nice big long chest. But he's actually very heavy. He's actually a lot heavier than most deluxe figures today. You've got that nice little heat rub symbol down here, showing, give it a couple of seconds and it'll show eventually. There we go. He's a Decepticon, but sure, you knew that already from here. And from here. Oop, not there. But just in case you're wondering, yes, there you go. 4 times the charm. Now, posability on these was never really great, but normally your arms would just be going up and down. Oh, taking that out of the way. Hold this back, your arms will be going up and down, but in this he's actually got a nice good bit of movement because he has this nice little ball joint in there that most figures at the time didn't come with. And he has his overly massive gun, but sure, he was meant to be a big brute in the show anyway, so it's kind of fitting to the character. Now, transforming him to jet mode, if I just get that out of the way, is very simple. You fold this up, you lift it all the way up here, just move it back a wee bit, pull the arms in, same on this side, you fold these up and connect them together, then back here you take this, and this will cover his head, clip in there, fold this down, lift these up and rotate this out, which can be a bit of a bother. There we go. Peg it back down. Here we are. Now he's a nice space shuttle. Not the sleekest thing in the world. I would have preferred if these were blue. In fact, if all this had been blue, it would have been much better. A nice 2-tone colour instead of 3-tone, but what can you do? And then there's not really much to say about it. It is obvious there's something more to him from this mode, but it's actually nicely hidden compared to most of the newer triple changers that we get. Turn them over and there's some nice obvious wheels down there, but you know, for the most part it's pretty nifty. As what was at the time mainly just a kid's toy, it was actually really good. Changing him from this to train mode is even easier than going to robot mode. Starters, just flip this back in there and pick that up. And already you can see from down here what will be the train, but to do that you need to fold this down, flip her around, fold down these on either side. These orange flaps fold just before 90 degrees, and then they both fold up in here. and flatten them because they do sit up just a smidge. And then you fold these wheels out. And there he is. What is supposed to be a steam train. And well, you can't see some windows back here for the cab, and you can't see all the wheels lining up. It's not the greatest of modes. But when I was a kid, I loved trains, so this was always my favourite of the two. And then his gun can't store anywhere. Nope, not happening. Not a thing. Not going anywhere. So you always had to just keep that somewhere. I suppose that's why they got lost a lot of the time. But it was the days before any of these things were ever considered. They were just made as toys to get out quickly for sales. Sales and numbers. So that's Astrotrain. And now we take a look at the nicer of the two, Blitzwing. Because he actually resembles a robot that has good proportions. Good size arms. Now it does have that simple up and down movement that I mentioned before. He has a blaster and a sword, which makes for good weapons, but he also has, which was something, I'm not sure if he used this in the show, but the tank turret overhead. Also makes for a nice bit of weaponry. He has the missiles under here, as I mentioned earlier. And that's really about it for his posability. Never anything much to say about G1 toys. They are what they are. They look really nice. Lots of stickers in here. He's only got the one Decepticon symbol on here. And on the back, well, there's the rest of them. And I like that all the stickers are pre-put on this. Now, some of them are a little bit off, as you can see in here. But it just saves a lot of time and bother. And maybe for some people it might have been nice to be able to put them on themselves, but I'm sure Repro Labels will be able to sort you out there. So, transforming him, just get these weapons out of his hand, which you might want to be careful with as these hands are rather flimsy. So we'll put those off to the side, and then you collapse the hands in, collapse the arms down, you come down here and fold these back in. Then you take this whole assembly and rotate it back. Come back here, slide this down. Just move it off to the side a bit so that you can rotate the head and nose cone out, which doesn't seem to want to come out. Why not rotate this down enough? Have an active clearance? I don't know. Ah, there we go. I think. Yes, there we go. Ah! Bastard. Come on. Technical difficulties. There we are. Sorry about that. I really love this jet mode. More than I did when I was younger. Does have some gapping here, but that's the same in both modes, but it looks really good from above. It looks like nice and sleek, like one of the Seekers. But unlike the Seekers, when you turn it upside down, you've got this nice big tank turret on here. Although that's actually not too bad compared to some of the newer triple changes that we get. In fact, it seems they're taking a step back in ways at times when you look at them. But yeah, not too bad. The missiles are now on the side and the colours strangely work nicely. Changing it from this into tank mode, easy again. You just flip these around. Turn the tank turret around, and this time we'll get it in properly. And then back here, slide these in. Ah, I missed the stage with jet mode. These wings back here should have been out. Oh well, too late for that now. Now these, you can actually fill in that gap a bit with them, if you just fiddle with them. There we go. And then with this slid back, this extended out. There we have a nice tank mode. Now, this is what makes me like Blitzwing all the more now, is that all three modes actually look really good. The jet mode looks just like a jet, with, well, with tank turret hanging off the bottom. If you ignore that, look at it from above, it looks perfect. And same with the tank mode, unless you turn it over and see all of this guff underneath, and a nice little head there. Hello! It actually looks just like a tank. So far as nostalgia's sake goes, I actually think these are quite worth it. Now, some of the other sets have their more accurate colours. They have the original Generation 1 paint schemes, and I'm sure for more people they're going to be worth the money, but I got this for £15 down from 40. So if you find it at that price, it's definitely worth it, because you're paying now less than you would pay for a deluxe figure for two original G1 figures. And it's a nice throwback. For some people it might be a nice look at things that what the people back in the days were growing up with Transformers. They might just sate that curiosity. But I'm not going to rate these out of 10 as I normally do, because these are what they are. They're older toys from yesteryear. They're yester generation now, actually. And for people collecting the G1 figures, I'm sure they'll want something a little more colour accurate. They can always rebuy the older ones, but as something that's out there at a cheaper price for them to be able to buy their original toys, it's definitely worth the little money you pay for it. So, link in the description below for Max Mechas, and thanks again for watching.